What's going on, homies? Always good to see you, man. So today I wanted to have a discussion for the old folks in my audience, man. This is for the older ladies, the older men, moms, dads. We're gonna have a conversation just about parenting or parenthood in general, because there's something that gets said a lot, or just like an idea that occurs when people talk about parenting that really grinds my gears, man. It gets to me, and it's this idea that, like, once you have a kid, once you have a son or a daughter, that, like, your life has to end, that it's like game over, where, like, you went here, you had your lives, and then, like, oh, you fell off the cliff. Boop, 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 boop. That's the Mario sound, if you guys didn't know what that was supposed to be. But they act like it's a wrap, dude. Like, you're destroyed here, and then, like, this kid comes and you're like, it's been a good run, guys, now it's all over. And I completely disagree with that, man, for a lot of different reasons, which I'll talk with you guys about now. To me, in order to be a good parent, I think that you still have to have a life. I don't think it's something that ends just because you're a parent. I honestly feel like your life should be even better or more together or more vibrant than it was before you had a kid. Because to me, man, when I think about being a parent, like, I want to have my shit together. Like, I want to make sure that, like, when I got these little people to take care of, then I'm doing everything that I need to make sure that they're cared for, like, to make sure they got clothes, food, like the stuff that they want, be able to go places, like all that kind of stuff, man. But I don't feel like my role now is just like a bankroll for them, like, because we understand that necessities are important, like, that's the basis, right? If guys ever heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it talks about, like, all the things that it takes to make us, like, happy, healthy, functioning human beings. And the base of that pyramid is those essentials, right? It's our housing. It's all that stuff that we know that we need. But with that, it's also emotional attachment. Kids need that support from you. They need you to be, like, emotionally available. They need you to be emotionally there. They need somebody to talk to, somebody that can help guide them if they ask for it, like somebody that they can look up to as a role model, and somebody that they actually want to be around, And in order to do that, you can't throw your life away. You can't just get rid of all your hobbies, stop having fun, like, stop enjoying life and saying, like, I'm only a parent and I just do parent things. I don't do fun. I don't have friends. I don't invest in myself and take care of my body anymore. I'm just dad. Like, that's such I don't even have a good word for it. Like, to me, it's just such an inadequate viewpoint to have. I think it's the opposite, man. I think that in order for you to be the best possible parent that you possibly can, in order for you to be someone that your kids actually enjoy being around, somebody that is actually worthy of that title, you have to still live your own life, like, you still have to be engaged in the things that make you happy. Like, you still have to have some passion in your life still, like, you can't, to me, it's not just one of those things where, like, you're now some throwaway accessory just because these kids came into the picture. Like, it should be one of those things, man, where, like, you want to take, in my estimation, man, for me, in my head, you should want to take every aspect of your life to the next level, because now you have even more of a reason to do it. Like, now you got that dang seat in the back. you got these kids, man, and they need you. And a part of what you provide to them is you being the best version of yourself. A part of that means you take care of yourself. A part of that means you still enjoy your life. A part of that means that you keep all those things that made you who you were before they got here, because your kids aren't you. Like, that's another thing that people do, is that, like, what I think happens when people, like, throw away all the aspects of themselves when they become a parent is that then you start getting those weird people who expect their kids to live out their dreams that they couldn't, like that kind of weird stuff, where like they start putting all of these just expectations on their kids of like, hey, Johnny, you want to play football? And he's like 8 months old and like he can't walk, and they're already like, here you go, you're gonna put on dad's jersey and we're gonna go outside. And like that kid, like what if he freaking hates football, right? Like what if he couldn't give two shits about football? What if he wants to like get a canvas and paint? Like what if he wants to go like jog and run somewhere? Like what if he wants to play some video games or work on computers? But to you like, I'm the best dad. I gotta make sure Johnny does all the dreams that I couldn't do. Man, like that's such an unhealthy and just destructive mindset to have with your kids, man, that in the long run, like down the road, it leads to the destruction of that relationship, man. They're not going to want to be around you anymore if that's what you're doing. Your kids aren't you, dude. Like they're not you. Like you have to let them have their own personality. Like you have to let them engage themselves in the things that they like. And to me, what attracts people more to you is when you're actively engaged in the stuff that makes you happy and people can see you enjoying yourself. That draws them to you, If you want your kids, your son or daughter, to be interested in some of the things that you're interested in, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, man. Like, I understand, like, wanting to share things that you care about with your kids. Like, I don't think that's terrible at all. I think it's about how you do it, though. And I think that one of the best things that you can do is to continue living in a way, man, that's full of just like you're living your best life, to use a cliche, like to still do what you want to do, to still be you, to still have your personality, to still have your likes and interests, and don't just become like some weird label of dad now. Like, show them that it's cool to be an adult, show them that like as you get older, you can still do cool shit, that you can still like have fun, that you can still do all of these things and like have a good time, and it's on an even greater level than when you're a kid because you got more freedom. I think that's the kind of stuff that they see and they're like, you know what, my dad is kind of cool. Like, let me go over here and pick up this arcade stick and see what the Street Fighter thing's all about. That's what I'm open for. So and that's why, to me, man, that advice where people just have like, once you have your kids here, your journey's over, bud. It's not about you anymore. It's so weird to me, man, because like you know how much pressure that is, where like you just sit down with your kid and you're like, well, Johnny, daddy gave up his life because you came into the world. So I hope things turn out good for you because daddy's journey's now over. If I were a kid, I don't want that. I'm like, whatever, old man. Like, don't put that kind of pressure on me. Like, go do your own thing. Like, I want to play with blocks and like poop myself. Like, don't sit here and try to like build me into this weird thing, man. Like, don't put that kind of pressure on your kid. Like, that's such a funky, weird ass thing to do, man. And I don't know if it's just like a Western culture thing, and I don't think it is, because I hear so much about like Asian countries and just like Indian societies and just, well, East Asian and just like other places talking about like the pressures that get put on your kids, like, you be a doctor, be a lawyer, blah blah blah. And like, I get wanting your kid to be the best version of themselves that they can be. I think as a parent, that's one of your most major jobs, is to make sure that you provide an environment where they can flourish, but you don't control what they do, like you don't control what they are, who they become, or any of that stuff. Just be a cool and halfway decent person, and I think it comes together, man. Like, don't do this weird like, never got to join the major league, so here you go, let me put on the cap over here. No, man, like, go let your kid like go play with a cat. Like, don't be weird about it, man. Don't be weird. So I think that's my rant. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say. That life isn't over when you become a parent, man. That they're like, now you have even more reasons to not be a piece of garbage, Like, you got so many reasons to get your stuff together. And being a parent can be so good, you know, like it's tiring, you can be exhausting. There's a lot of crap that comes with it that I don't think people realize, but there's a lot of good in it too. And like, you don't have to put this pressure on yourself to be like, I'm dad, so there's things that I can't do now. Like, yeah, there's crap that you can't do. Like, you can't not feed your kids, or you can't like not spend time with them, but like, you should want to do that stuff, you know, but like, don't get rid of your hobbies. Like, don't stop being you just because you're a parent now. Like, that's what's going to make you a good parent. So that's my rant, man. I appreciate you guys listening to me. As always, check out the description. I think is it below? It'll be, check out the description. You can help support the channel. Thanks for listening to me, man. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one.